week 6. How you doing? Glad that you're here. Glad that you've made it this far. Glad that you're continuing to move forward in this beautiful, non-linear way that we move. Always coming back, right, to where we began and just giving yourself an opportunity to start over and to reconnect to who you are. Now, when I say start over, I want to be clear. It doesn't mean that all the work that you've put in up to this point means nothing. It means a lot. And it's in here. It's in here. Know that. Even if you don't feel it, the work that you've been putting in has made a difference. You make a difference. Showing up makes a difference. And this week is about remembering that. So we can start to break free of self-doubt, which is a core component of this program. It's a core component of living a more aligned life. And it gives you permission and an opportunity to live your life in a way that's more aligned with how you want to be living, in a way that encourages you to follow through on your truth, on your feelings, on your emotions. They're valid. They're all valid. And one way to think about that, and speaking of thinking, what we think leads to what we create in our life. So if we spend a lot of our time looking for reasons why we don't belong, or why we shouldn't do that thing or try that out, 100% of the time you're going to find it. Because you're looking for it. You're thinking that it's in there somewhere, that reason to not, that reason to stop, that reason to stay. If you flip the script and you start to embody and feel more of what happens if it does work out, what happens if I try this and it does work. And going back to stuff we talked about last week, you're just trying stuff. But when you try stuff, too, you also get the accomplishment of doing it. And you can move from doubt to doing it. And then you can course correct as you go. But it does give you the satisfaction of knowing that you did it. And it gives you the confidence. So when you have to do it again, or when that opportunity comes back, you've already done it once. What you think, you create. And so we're going to be thinking along the lines this week of, yes, we can. Yes, you can. Yes, I can. We can do this. We're doing this. This is it. This is the thing. We're doing it. And yeah, that's good. Recognize how far you've come. Recognize that you're doing this. Before we move on and before I blabber on a little bit more, let's just come back into and remember who we are a little bit. So we'll just take a moment here to reset, unwind, and get into our bodies. Anchoring your sit bones down into the earth and lifting yourself up and out of your hips with a nice, long, strong spine. Bringing that dignity back into your being. Taking a big breath in as you roll your shoulders up to your ears. And Exhale, draw those shoulders back and down and let it go. Empty yourself of that breath. Make some space inside. Take another big breath in. Exhaling, slowly releasing that breath back out into the room. Inhaling to ease your body. Exhaling to ease the mind. Just begin to breathe into your belly a little bit more. Breathing in slowly, breathing in gently, breathing in deeply. Every belly breath maybe goes a little bit deeper than the previous. Just anchoring down into your core, into your gut, into your truth. And then bring your awareness up to your heart. And just allowing your heart to be lifted a little bit higher. Maybe you can sit up a little bit taller. Just notice how it feels like to open up your heart, to lift your heart, to breathe some love into your heart. One of my favorite quotes that I keep coming back to in my day-to-day is a quote by Richard Rohr, which I'm sure I've shared with you all before. It's nothing to prove, nothing to protect. You are who you are, and that's enough. Nothing to prove, nothing to protect. We are who we are, and that is enough. Just bring your palms together in front of your heart, taking a big breath in, and just exhale and sealing this moment together. And blinking your eyes back open and meeting me back here whenever you're ready. What are we protecting ourselves from? How does it feel in your body when you say that phrase or the saying, I quote, nothing to prove, nothing to protect? When you operate and you come from this place of centeredness and of being, and you take the pressure off of yourself by not having to prove yourself by doing something, you're allowed to just be. And it goes back to what we were saying about you're just trying stuff. Action is the thing. Starting is the thing. You'll find every reason in the world to not start or to wait until the time is right, right? We talked about that a little bit last week with our perfectionism. The time's always right to do what's right. And what's right is being who you are. Stop normalizing your not enoughness. You know what I'm saying? there's a feeling that I have, of maybe I don't deserve this, or I'm not ready for this, or we normalize feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled. So much so that it just becomes, we think that's normal. That's normalizing, right? Like that's how we accept that as truth. It's real. These feelings are real, but they're not true. Remember, your thoughts are just like your opinion. And it's just an opinion. It's not necessarily true. So we need to normalize our enoughness. And that we do deserve great things. To feel at home in our bodies. And when we start to break free of self-doubt, we start to move in that direction. We give ourselves permission to try things out and not beat ourselves up for if it doesn't work out or if it doesn't go exactly according to plan. Because shit, what goes according to plan? But again, the work that you've done to get to this point gives you a foundation that you're not even always aware of, but it's in here. And when you calm things down a little bit and you quiet the noise of that normalizing our not enoughness, our truth begins to bubble up to the surface. And we get to remember our greatness. We are kings and we are queens. Just saying that frees you up a little bit. It freed me up a little bit. I was like, whoa, yes. I am powerful. I do have dignity in my spine. I can sit up a little bit taller. Because you are. And that strength that you seek is already within you. You're already there. We just have to move in that direction of that belief and start practicing that belief. Because self-doubt is, it's going to keep you stagnant, as I've said hundreds of times. And I say it hundreds of times because it takes hundreds and hundreds of times to remember that. I mean, in my life, it's been the number one thing that's kept me from growing and kept me from being more of the man that I know that I am. Because I'll tell myself that I'm not ready, or that, there's other people that are doing it better. We don't trust ourselves. We doubt ourselves. And so the other tenet of this week about understanding that what you think leads to what you create. When you think things are possible, when you think things are moving in a direction, they are. You are your own cruise director of your ship. And the director of your life. And so if you think you're not ready and you find reasons, you seek reasons for why you're not ready, based on the years you've lived up until this point, based onto these ideas that you have about who you are, direction that we move in.
But you have the power.
You're born with that power to move more in the direction that you want to move. And it just
Takes starting.
and your whole life experience will be really loud and try to keep you in your comfort zone and tell you this is where you're supposed
To
to be.
be right now.
But everything you seek is
Just on the other side of
of that comfort zone. That power, that passion, that peace, that freedom comes with that movement forward. It
comes when you start to break
break free of self-doubt. When you start to
to believe in your worth.
you're more than enough. And
Don't get it twisted. The fact that you're here
on week 6, listen to me, talk to you through this video, email situation. You know it too. That's why you're here. And I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. Because it's not easy
we're doing some
restructuring here.
we're tearing down some walls.
And that can be painful, and it can be scary. But everything you seek
And everything you are looking for comes from that motion.
comes from that belief. You can do this.
You are doing this.
This is happening. So I hope that resonates with you.
In some way.
And another thing I want to share is just this idea of just giving yourself the opportunity to experience what it feels like to practice this belief work.
And to know and remember that there's nothing to prove and nothing to protect, and how that affects
How you experience your life. And not just think about how it will affect your experience,
or how it should affect
your experience, but actually feeling it in your body. That's the experience, not the thought that comes after. Doing it.
starting.
There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to protect. You are who you are, and that is more than enough. It's beautiful.
And it's amazing. And it's needed.
Thanks for
Being here. Thanks for being you.
I hope this helps you
Get
get
a little bit more of you
you.
out into the world.
Enjoy the books. I hope you continue to read.
Reading's nice.
Isn't it? Isn't it? I've forgotten too until I made it a
Habit to keep reading and to keep learning.
For movement this week, it's spring. Happy spring. So, get outside if you can. Walk around. Feel the sun on your skin.
Get some movement in your body.
I've shared those 2 yoga videos so far. This week I'm going to share a video about, it's going to be alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana.
It's a sort of it's a yogi exercise
Of breath to align the hemispheres of our brain and to bring balance to the inside. It's kind of fun. It's not really super duper physical, but it is. I'm going to include it in the movement portion this week.
along with this advice. Get outside. Smell the flowers.
They're blooming.
And so are you.
Thank you so much.
Talk with you soon.